So we have a fresh scene, and I'm gonna press GZ1 to bring my cube up to ground level, and we're going to think of our cube as being a table, and as such we want it to have collisions. So we come over to the atom with an electron, which is the physics tab, and we're just going to click on collision like that. So our table now has collision. So now we want a tablecloth. So if we press Shift A and go to mesh plane, and then press G and Z to move my tablecloth up a little, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to come into the bottom left hand corner, wait for my cursor to turn into a cross, and then just drag, left click and drag up and create a new viewport like that. And we are going to change this to a geometry node editor like that. Now I'm going to just create a new graph, and we're going to pin it, and do a Shift A and search for sub. So I mean, it's at the top of the menu there, but if I just type in SUB and enter, we have a subdivide modifier there, and we'll turn that up to 6. And now with my cloth selected, I need to add it to the simulation, or give it the simulation. So in the physics tab, we just press on cloth like that. And first two main things is quality. We could dial that up a little bit, and it's also nice to have in the collisions. We could also add to the quality there, but really what we want is self collisions. For the moment, that will do. And at this point, if I press space, my simulation will work. And at this point, I'm going to press Shift and the back arrow key to go back to the beginning of the timeline. I think also if we just go down to cache, it's worth noting that it's stored some things in the cache there. If I just click on the blue bar there, it will get rid of what's in the cache. So as we update, it will make the simulation a little bit cleaner. So what we want to do now is create a pin group to make our cloth a little bit more interesting. So instead of using pinning verts, we're going to use a little piece of geometry. So I'm going to press Shift A, mesh, and we'll grab a cube. We'll scale our cube down a little. I'm going to press Shift Space, and I'm just going to click on Move to get the gizmo. I'm going to bring it up to, say, the corner of my tablecloth like so. And let's call this cube, let's just call it the cube pin, like so. And then from the outline, I can drag and drop it into my graph. And I'm going to change the info here to relative, and we are going to connect that to a proximity node. So if we just type in pro, we get geometry proximity, and then we take the geometry and we're going to plug it into the target, and then we can take the distance and we can plug it into there. And from here, we want to go back to our tablecloth, and we need to tell it that there's a piece of geometry that we want to use as a pin group. So if we come to the object data, we just add a group, and we just call this pin for the sake of clarity. And then we're going to go to the modifier tab, and we go to the geometry nodes, and in the output attributes, we just want to click in that distance field there, and we pick our pin. And from here, we need to go to the cloth simulation in the physics tab, and we also need to tell it that there is a shape. So we need to add the pin to the shape in the pin group here. So just click on pin, and now our simulation will probably work to a degree here, but it'll actually be somewhat inverted. So if I just press on, say, if I just press play, you can see we need to invert that relationship. So if I just press Shift and back arrow, and again, this is a point at which we want to clear our cache, perhaps. So we just click on that blue and remove the frames that have been stored. And to invert our animation or our pin. We're going to do a Shift A and we're going to search for a ramp. So we just want a color ramp. So RAM, color ramp. I'm going to drop that in there and we just invert this relationship like that. So white's at the bottom, black above at some point like that. And now if we press space, our cloth is pinned.